Is this when you
Yeah. I mean, when I dig, I put my bucket, I put my sign on. I've got to clear a patch. You start digging, it starts filling with water. Then you've got to bail it out. You know, you can go down 1.3 in some areas, 0.6 in other areas.
how low can you go?
1.3 metres.
Yeah, that's like a shovel territory, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello everybody, how are you doing? Such a lovely day today. I'm with Alan garnet hunting, and I happen to be Tudor pin hunting. Not something I normally do because I just can't see, never found them before. But Alan very kindly, and I'll link Alan in on this later on the video. But Alan is very kindly explaining how to find garnets. Fascinating, and a bit about the history. So we found some. I'll show you here, and I don't know if you can see them. So those are the pins there that you can see, and oh, excuse me, and those there where my finger is, those are the garnets. Now it's only when you get them wet really that they kind of pop a bit more. Let me oh no, I've dropped one. I found it there. So I don't know if you can see that there. So I've made it wet and it kind of pops a bit more. You can see the red. This is Alan, just so you can see Alan. Say hello.
Hi, how you doing?
So Alan is on Insta and on TikTok. Alan, what's your name on Insta and TikTok?
So it's Mudlark Thames Larker.
And you do flint stuff as well, don't you?
I do flint knapping, yeah. So I make replica Stone Age tools from Thames flint, Kent flint, Essex flint, and I also run courses and workshops for beginners as well.
Oh, amazing! Oh, damn.
It's quite easy to lose them. So I've put this one back in the water here.
Oh, Alan, can you? Oh, there it is. Can you? Yeah. Brilliant. That's actually a good size, that other one, isn't it?
That other one's good size, yeah.
And those are some of the pins there as well, the dress pins.
Yeah, Tudor dress pins.
I mean, I have no idea how I'm managing to see that. It's helping.
So remember, the closer you get to the objects you'll see. If you're standing up, you kind of miss it.
Yeah, you've got to be on
you.
there.
Be close. And if the sun's shining, if it's water shining on stuff, it also makes it pop out.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. You found 2 musket balls. Fantastic. Oh, joy. Good morning, Detecting Northern Ireland. How are you? Let me put this down and you can watch us scrape a bit. Sounds totally uninteresting, doesn't it? But yeah, watch us scrape a bit. Let me flip this round. Yeah, I found actually down this neck of the woods was the first time I ever found these pins, and it was the young kid actually with his mum. I can't remember his name. Such a lovely little fella. Okay. And he was face literally pressing against the foreshore. Yeah. And I went over and said, "What are you looking for?" And he said, "Oh, these pins." And he showed me. And then he kind of showed me, you know, they were getting caught in the black sand up there further down. And yeah, it was fascinating actually to find them, because I never thought I'd find pins, because they're just I mean,
they're so small, and they're so easy to hide amongst all this other consolidation that's on the river. And I actually think I know the young boy and mum you're talking about, because I've met
American actually.
Yeah, seen them a few times down here.
Yeah. I mean, he just I don't know, he's in his element down there. It's beautiful to see.
And it's good to plant that history seed in someone so young.
Yeah.
And to get them interested in history.
And just to see, this is amazing. So where am I? Yeah, but just the curiosity, isn't it?
Yeah. Small sliver of brown glass. I mean,
well,
you know.
What would that?
It's all about industry, you know. Bit of glass, yeah. I thought that was garnets.
Similar shape though.
Similar
isn't
shape. You get things that look like garnets. Small pieces of metal that have been rolled.
it? And do you know, I always thought when I see them on social media, sort of the finding of garnets, that I always assumed this was slap back central London that you would find that kind of stuff. But of course, now that you explained the origins of it, it makes sense actually that where we are that you would find them here also.
Yes.
Because yeah.
Well, originally this is where they were first found, and then since then, with the Thames boats and the erosion that's been caused to the foreshore by it, levels are dropping so much now they're showing stuff on other foreshores that we've previously found on certain foreshores. So most parts of the river kind of have the same activity and industry going on. So you can find them anywhere, right?
There is just so much nails and pins and stuff, isn't it? It's unreal.
It's unbelievable what you sort of looking for. And they're sort of in a certain line as well. So it's threaded. So it's not an early date on it. It's probably it was a bar that went into there or something.
Yeah.
It's copper
Nice,
alloy.
isn't it?
Nice, yeah.
It's nice that the kind of shape
you
on
know,
it.
to find stuff and then to sort of register in your head what is it. I don't know what it is, but I'll sort of go do a bit of research.
You know what I've done? I moved the stone with all the stuff on it.
Well, it's going to be here, don't worry.
Yeah. Do you remember a TV show? Yeah, let's hear all the pins. Damn.
There's
Yeah,
all
they
the
got it.
garnets.
Do you remember the show in the 70s or 80s? It was a quiz show, Ask the Family or
Yes,
something.
I do.
And do you remember where they used to have the mystery object?
Yes.
And then you had to, it was really close in and slowly it would zoom out and you'd
Yeah.
have to guess what it was.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you find something on the foreshore, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's trying to guess what it is.
Trying to guess what it is.
Because it's out of context or it's just a bit of something, isn't it?
Exactly. And that's a thing of mudlarking, you know. Your eyes kind of start picking out certain objects, and you'll get used to seeing certain shapes that you recognise.
Yeah.
And then those shapes you don't recognise are the ones that perk your interest up.
Yeah.
And that sort of starts your journey on mudlarking. There's another Tudor pin there, nice straight one
Oh,
there.
yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I'm kind of tuned into the coins and the shape of coins.
Yeah.
Just it's that perfect circle, isn't it?
Exactly.
Where everything else is imperfect.
Yeah.
And if you're tuned into that, it just pops, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you see the coin that I had earlier,
Yeah.
which is sitting on its side. So I see the edge of it. No, I see the edge of it, and it was either going to be a broken pebble, a bit of oyster shell, or a coin.
Yeah.
And luckily this time it was a coin.
Yeah.
George II, 1747, somewhere around that. So early 18th century. And just goes to show you what you can miss.
But that, but when you called us over, just to see that round, roundness popping out,
that round edge.
you know, you get that little, I don't know, that little feeling, isn't it?
Yes, little buzz.
Yeah.
Little excitement. You see these tiny garnets here. Really small ones at the edge.
Oh, insane.
So it's actually free there. Just try and-
There's a pin in there as
Yeah.
well. Take the pin out. Don't know if you can see.
Sizes, some of the sizes. I mean, you know, minute. My eyes pick out really tiny objects. Tudor dress pin, the top
Oh, it's got like
slid
a
down. So it slid down into the middle.
Oh, yeah.
So it should be up the top like the rest of them. It's not now. I'm just moving it, so it's not been done tight enough. So it's quite loose. So now,
I don't know if you can see that. Where are we? It's hard to see because of the sun. God, there's so many pins. So funny, you know, like 3 months ago, I would never see these. It's lovely when you start to learn, isn't it?
when you start to learn, when you start to find certain objects, that memory stays. You know, so even a slight edge of one or something, you can then know what it is
Yeah.
without even picking it up. You know, and that's the knowledge you're getting from mudlarking. You know.
Yeah.
Which
What this
crazy.
is making me do, though, getting down really this up close and personal, is making me study in detail what I'm seeing in front of me.
Exactly.
You know, and then this is when you really start seeing stuff.
Exactly.
You know, which makes sense why I've never seen garnets before, because I've never studied it this close.
This close. Yeah.
Because I'm looking for the big round coins or the
Exactly.
edges, but not for the detail.
Yeah. You miss so much when you're standing up walking along.
Yeah.
People don't realise that, you know, the closer you can get down to the foreshore, in any area, a whole different array of finds start appearing.
Yeah.
And plus that, you're going down different levels as well, you know. There's a lot of things there.
Yeah, that's the other thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Facing the wrong way.
Facing the wrong way, watch your back, watch your bum, or you get a wet bum.
I did that the other day, and yeah, my wellies just suddenly filled from an Uber bone. It's
Yes.
like, damn.
You see, you forget, you're looking down, you've got to remember to look up, look behind you if you're by the water's edge.
Yeah,
A lot of people when they first start don't do that. They, you know, you're so intensely searching.
yeah, and time just flies.
Time
doesn't it?
flies, you know. You kind of switch off. You're in a, like with me, I live in two worlds. The mudlarking world down here and the fast lane up there where we all mega stressed from daily lives. Another garnet here while I'm talking. See it?
Yeah. God, that's tiny.
You've got that and you can
I don't know whether.
pick it up.
Don't know if you can see on the edge of the trowel there. Sorry, it's so bright I can't really see what's on the screen, but tiny. Let me put this on the end of my finger.
These, I mean, the beautiful Almadine red garnets
So where are we?
brought in from Asia. It's hard to sort of show.
Yeah. What I do in a couple of minutes, I'll turn the camera around, we can have a closer look, and then another pin.
I mean, you can see how easy it is to miss them. I'm so experienced in finding them, I can pick them out easier, whereas this is new to you. So
Yeah.
you're seeing them, but not at a great amount at
Yeah.
a time.
But it's interesting what you're saying about the pins, because I kind of assumed, oh, this must be a landing point or something where people have stepped off and pins have fallen off. But then, you know, you're kind of saying again, well, you know, it could have been a sack of pins, isn't it, that broke, or
Sack of pins, and
because there are just so many, isn't
so
there?
many, and they're industrialised as well, you know.
Yeah.
So they, you know, big industrial companies start making them. Originally it starts with pinners trying to earn money to survive, and then it gets industrialised, like most stuff nowadays, you know. And that sort of market for those young sort of peasants gets taken away from them,
Yeah.
you know. You can see this hard packed sand as well, so they're not just on the top. They're in different levels.
So is it worth ever going deeper than this now?
I can, as a full London mudlark and a society member, you can go down to 3 inches, 7.5 centimetres.
But
you can do, because you're not at that level yet.
But would you find stuff?
You would do, yes. Yes, you would.
What would you find different to what you're finding on top?
It just depends on what the activity at this part of the foreshore at that time. I mean, it's one of those sort of questions, like, you just don't know what you're going to find.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't know what's going to be there.
Would you generally find older stuff?
Yes, when you go down, you find older levels of stuff where it's built up over time. You could find some early coins, Saxon coins, Roman pottery, wine bottles. You know, it could be a number of things. It's whatever was happening on that part of the foreshore at that specific time which laid that layer down.
Did you ever have you ever tried sieving?
I do sieve.
Right.
I do sieve.
Is that worth? I mean,
that is, yes. It can be quite good, or it can be really bad. Just like mudlarking, you can come out and not find nothing, and another day you can go back to exactly the same area and the same patch and find loads of stuff.
There was a guy up on the North Shore, up on, you know, the bit where everybody goes, the Roman bit.
Yeah.
That was a full mudlark. He was sieving up there.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, and I was intrigued because us being just mere mortals, were only allowed to look and not touch.
Yes.
And there he was sieving.
Having a sieve.
And then there was old, was it Mackie there?
Yep.
With a, you know, like wading out to the middle of the Thames with his waders, with a big scoop, again, because he's got a different license.
Exactly, yeah. He's a full mudlark like myself in the society.
And it's really interesting to see the different levels and what you can and can't do.
Exactly.
And what you can and can't find. But saying that, you know, some of the guys using just eyes were, you know, also fruitful.
Yeah. You know, don't necessarily mean you've got a dig, you know, scraping, eyes only, sieving, you know, these are allowed. Sort of certain areas produce more finds than others. You get more occupation on a certain part of the foreshore than you do sort of 10 metres away or 10 foot away.
Yeah.
So it all depends where you are and the type of finds you find. The better finds that you do start coming across, obviously you know you're in a good area.
Yeah.
The earlier finds, and sometimes you'll get all the modern stuff mixed in with old stuff.
Yeah.
Because you get too tired today, so you just got stabbed by a pin, didn't you?
Yeah. So
rule number one:
don't
use your fingers.
Yeah, I found a pin.
Technics.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stop using my fingers.
Don't use your fingers. Use something else. something other than your fingers. You know, I mean, you're moving foreshore so little. You know, moving little bits at a time to cover. You know,
but this is funny because further up it's just like, you know, scraping acres of this stuff, and it's interesting when you're starting to go on this distance. It's not like centimetres.
When you reach this level, you've removed all this top section. What I'll do is, when I fold this top section back over, I'll then go over and search it as well. Because you do get into the habit of hurriedly removing the top level to get down to this level and missing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of there and has been eroded and washed out.
Yeah.
You know, things get put into category. The foreshore categorises metal items, i.e. garnets. I'm not sure if that's a green one there actually that I'm seeing. I think it is. But it's going to be very. It's a sliver. No, it's not. It's just a bit of glass. It's a shame. But that is the actual colour of the green garnets.
Wow.
Green and brown. There's another one here. Look. So here's one.
Garnet.
Garnet. I'll let you pick it up. So you get used to seeing these.
Yeah. So, you can see where's the lens there. Just tiniest of tiny things. Again, I'll show you in a second. We'll come down and you can see the garnets that we found. I've only got, so you know, I've only got 4 garnets here because I've dropped them, so the others are somewhere within that. So apologies. So I carry this. I was given a first aid kit from when I was working in Vienna on a TV show.
Okay.
So I thought, oh, I may as well just put it on my rucksack.
Yes.
So when I start looking for pins with my fingers, I stab myself.
Yes. I've seen it a lot. I've done it myself. You get invested pretty quick, and you forget about everything you should have remembered.
Yeah.
You kind of get a bit slap happy, but in a good way.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, as a child, I hated history. Absolutely hated history.
It's funny though. Can you imagine though, if you were teaching history and you were teaching it like this?
Yeah.
How much you would remember and learn
Yes.
from it and be interested in it.
So a lot of mudlarks, when they start this, turn into amateur archaeologists, just because there's a vast amount of knowledge they gain over the years mudlarking. If history was a visual thing like this, God, I mean, you know, I don't know where I'd be, but I'd be sort of invested quite highly, you know, somewhere in a job where it was all about history, teaching people and showing people sort of methods of how this history, lost liquid history, can be found, you know.
You know, on the Mudlark exhibition down at the Waterman's Hall,
Okay.
the real Andy Harris set up his little patch that he did like an interactive little patch where he created a bit of the foreshore.
Exactly.
And that was just fascinating because suddenly it was in context of you know what we were looking at, what we were finding was it really made sense, and the kids were loving it. They were allowed to do a bit of mudlarking on it, and you know he'd put some clay pipes and stuff in there, and it was.
I actually done it to a local group I was taking out, Totally Thames. I've done the same for. Same thing, I collected a load of stuff, come down and got some of the material off the foreshore, sand and everything, put it all in a little box up on the pathway with the children who come over and have a little scraping and find the stems and corners, and they absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. You know, and they're like all excited, they're finding treasure, oh my god, I can't believe it. Is this a pirate coin? You know, you know, the interaction teaching that way is amazing. And that should be how history is taught.
Yeah. Right, let me just flip it round and I can show you just what we've found so far. Hey. Were garnets, so there's a question here, were garnets used historically as a form of currency?
Not to my knowledge, no. I've not come across that.
So this is what we're digging up here. I don't know if you can see that. So a couple of things that we're bringing out or that we're looking for. One is garnets, the red garnets. So that's here, tiny one, and then a whole bunch here, which I I put my hand on my accident and knocked back into the ground. So they're gone. We have to find those again. And then the rest are these little pins, which in my excitement I was using my fingers to scrape and look for, and I got stabbed. So I've using.
Have a little red garnet, a rough one. It's quite rough. But when it's wet, you see it's red.
Yeah.
Quite tiny. Another one. It's a bit of rust.
Yeah.
Looked red.
So then these here are pins, and you're saying, Alan, these are dress pins, right?
So Tudor dress pins in the times before zips and buttons. People, royalty especially, would wear thousands and thousands of these in an outfit. I think Queen Elizabeth I had over 50,000 dress
Blimey.
pins in one of her outfits.
I just feel sorry for the person who had to put them in.
I really do. I really do. All these poor ladies in waiting. You know, what a boring, laborious job.
Yeah, if you think your job's shit, you should be think about putting 50,000 pins in a queen.
In the queen.
Yeah, then you stop complaining then. Hey, Carrie. Look, Carrie, we're finding garnets and shit.
Ah, have you found some?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Tudor dress pins. Yeah, here. 1, 2, 3, 4,
wow,
5,
look.
and those pins.
All the pins, yeah, look at that, I've got some pins.
So I'm live, so don't say. But can you see behind you that blue sign? So that's the point to come to and come further down and look. And this is the patch.
Well then.
Yeah, thank you, Anna.
Mum's the word. Okay.
Carrie, we got your chair
your
here.
chair here. Your famous chair.
So I leave it.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
There was no bag with it. Have you got the bag?
Yeah, I've got that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, no worries. That's Carrie. Carrie's with us as well. So what's the black here now then? Because you said this before. So what's the black bit
So your black
we've hit?
area is so it's black anaerobic mud. So this mud can't be penetrated by oxygen. So if we get any artifacts in this mud, they generally come out as good as what they went in.
Yeah.
Because they're protected. They're kind of frozen in time in this mud. So there's no movement, everything's moving over them. And it protects stuff, you know.
That's quite hard because like if you just take a bit out here, everything's back. It's not that easy to see stuff in it, is it?
It's not. What you've got to do is create a clear level, sort of scrape off. Yeah, I thought I seen it there. Sort of scrape off until you get to that sort of clear level where you haven't got any metal contamination or anything. And then that's when you start looking. If you're scraping, you can start scraping into it. It's quite hard and compacted.
So it's only through scraping of it you're going to ever find anything. You won't necessarily see.
No, that's not true. No, you can literally uncover an area and there could be things just stuck in it.
Ah, really?
It's eroded down to that level. Also, please don't realise all the consolidation stuff sitting on top of it can actually help wear away the level. You know, as well as the tide doing it, the tide's moving all this stuff all the time. So if you've got a coin there, it's eroding. It's been eroded by the stuff sitting on top of it, and people don't realise that. You know, there's so many different sort of methods and ways that can erode. So Dad said we've got a Tudor dress pin straight away sticking in the black mud. Yeah, it's a little copper alloy loop. And as you can see, as you start going into the foreshore, it just fills up with water.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, it makes sense.
It's about quickness, or what I do is I'll create a deeper channel,
drain it off
to remove the water to drain it.
Just keep an eye out on behind us.
Yeah.
Yes, it's easy to forget that actually this spends most of its life underwater.
Exactly.
And just for twice in a day, for a few hours, we get a glimpse of it, and then it's gone again.
In certain parts of the foreshore, people kind of don't take it in, but you get down to the original level when the River Thames was formed. You get these orange and red sandy patch areas, and these are very early levels.
Oh, really?
Very early levels. Obviously, Thames, before the Thames was here, it was an ancient forest, or it was a forest. So you Stone Age man. And we've got known sites around here, documented sites of independence you know, where they settled before the river was here.
There's a place down on the Isle of Dogs where there's you see trees emerging.
Yes, so
and
that's the
stumps.
ancient forest that's emerging.
Right.
So that was there before the River Thames was. We get them here, we get them everywhere, on every part of the foreshore. It's quite, you know, it's quite a thing. If you're actually thinking of all that while you're searching, your experience starts to understand what it is you're actually doing. You're searching the biggest open archaeological site in the world.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
And there's nowhere like the River Thames.
Do you know what's the saying? I can spot a pin a mile away.
Yep, that's it. There you go.
I've tuned into it.
And you know that saying, pin money, that comes from pinners.
Oh, really?
So that's where it comes from, yeah.
Yeah, next thing I'm going to do is find a pinner's bone.
You will. You will.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be when you least expect it. It won't be amazing. It won't be exciting. You know, it'll just be like, oh, what's that? And you won't kind of realise what it is for a few seconds, and then, you know, if you know what it is, great. But generally, people don't really know what they're picking up at first. Probably have to sweep this back and move down.
I can't remember. Was this covered in rocks?
So this area was uncovered with rocks,
Right.
And it was open metal. And a lovely German coin the other day.
Oh, really? German one?
Nice German coin, an early one, early 17th century coin.
Oh, wow.
So it's not always about gone things.
The wetness and the sun makes a big difference because the light's
does.
hitting it, isn't it?
It does, so it makes it pop.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing stuff bounce
When
off
it's
the light.
raining, I like coming out because it sort of makes stuff pop out the foreshore again. You get that glint of sun on something, you know, even for seconds, and you can see something.
Hey. Ah, good morning from Greece. Kalimera. That's about it. My grandmother, my yaya, was from Chios, so I know probably 3 words. New Zealand as well, fantastic. I'm glad you haven't been poked or prodded by those. Unfortunately, I have. I'm wearing a plaster on this finger. I was so excited about the fact that I could actually find those pins and see them that I forgot to use my trowel and was starting to use my finger. Consequently, I did find a pin, but probably not in the best way. Yeah, sorry, yeah, look, we're finding garnets and shit. Yeah, sorry. I mean that in a nice way.
This is what they're making these pins from.
Hope you guys find the roach you dropped. I'm assuming you mean roach the fish. Of course, we'll look for that. Hey, Naomi and Liam. Hello to you. What have I found today? Actually, so this is good. I'm with my friend Alan here and also Carrie. Carrie's a bit further up, but Alan is mudlark man and boy and understands the foreshore wonderfully, and he's very kindly sharing his kind of understanding with us. And so one of the things we're looking at today is garnets and these dress pins. Now, I've always wondered about garnets. I've never found garnets before. And Alan very kindly has taken us to a patch, a private patch where he knows delivers garnets, and is taking me through the process of finding it and showing me when he finds one what it looks like. because part of it is getting that eye in and getting it tuned into what it looks like and the colour and the shape and all those kind of things. So yeah, I'm on it's a school day today for me from Alan, and again I'll link Alan underneath the video when it gets published, so you can check out his work. It's amazing, some of the finds he's got. Also a flint knapper as well, which is fascinating, but I'll link that in and you can have a look. Now, one of the things to be aware of is, Alan, look where the water is now.
Yes.
Time to move, isn't it? So this is the patch that we've been scraping, and the patch that's been delivering, and it's just been fascinating to find these dress pins and these garnets. It's only recently I started to be able to find dress pins and get my eye in to recognise them. Tide's coming in.
Big wash.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sign off just because the tide's coming in and I don't want to get caught out by it. Let me just move my bag up so I don't lose the bag in the water. There's a wonderful carry. See, the thing is, once the tide comes in, you know that expression, time and tide wait for no man. Absolutely true. Once it comes in, oh my gosh, it comes in with a vengeance. And if you've not got your wits about you, you'll get very wet feet and a wet thumb. So let me just take Carrie's chair a bit further up as well. I can't tell you, it's just beautiful down here today. It's just it's not too hot, but the sun is out, and tide's not very low. It's about 0.9 today, but this part of the foreshore you've got quite a lot where you can have a look at it. You know, that goes it's covered a bit later. I'm just going to collect these garnets and so we don't lose them when the tide comes in. But let me put you back so you can see. So there, that's amazing. Yeah, detecting's great as well. It's a bit hard to do on the Thames. It's I could never really quite get it to work. I mean, my machine, I think it's just there's better machines for it. I've got a Garrett 80 Pro, and I just wasn't comfortable with it. Just I don't know. I couldn't have an enjoyable experience detecting. I found mudlarking so much more enjoyable and cathartic. So I just mudlark now rather than detect. Anyway, I'm going to sign off before we end up underwater. And thanks so much for joining. Let me just flip this round again. Alan, this is Alan here.
Hi.
So as I say, I'll tag Alan. Alan is very kindly been showing me how to find the garnets and how to find the Tudor pins and what to look for and how the foreshore works. Thank you, Alan.
You're welcome.
Yeah, brilliant.
Enjoy it.
What did you find actually? Just in,
So we've got a few clay pipes, clay tobacco pipe stems. We've got a bit of early wine glass iridescence on it, cow tooth, bit of a sheep bone, a vulcanised rubber R-white lemonade bottle top, or
with a
stopper
51 on it, isn't
with
it? Or an S1 or a 51.
Yes,
Yeah.
registered. And we've had a nice George the Third. Let's get the profile right. George the Second. Sorry. See his profile there.
When you say George II, so what's the date?
So
on that?
generally about 1747
Oh, wow.
to 97, I think, and you get Britannia on the back. This one's kind of battered. It should clean up. You should be able to get some detail and a date on it. The date's normally sitting at the bottom here. On
And
there.
how did you find that?
So just see the edge of it sticking up.
So you were scraping, right?
So I was scraping back the top layer slowly and see the edge in an area where I recognise it's probably not been searched, going by how compacted it was.
Yeah.
And there he was, sitting there waiting hundreds of years for me to come along.
And it's brilliant, isn't it?
Pick it up.
Because that edge just poking out.
Just
was,
poking out, yeah.
Joy of joys. If you love finding coins, any detectives out there, you understand that when you see that round edge. Brilliant. Right. Thanks so much, Alan. And this is my good friend here, Carry on larking. So I'm going to sign off because the tide's coming in and I don't want to get wet. So thank you so much. And yeah, have an enjoyable bank holiday weekend. Enjoy the sun. I hope the sun stays. And thanks always for your support. Much love to you all. Have an amazing weekend. And yeah, thank you so much. So let me sign off here and I'll